First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, double honor to the elders, great millstone, and salutation to all y'all came on our house and powers big into the marriage. I want to title this video that the wicked shall seek to please the poor. You know, you got Esau trying to roll out these stimulus checks. You know, and Esau was already talking about reparations for slavery. Because, he feels, the wicked shall seek to please, because he knows what he did, Esau's a devil, Like, he won't, the scriptures tell you he won't repent. He can't repent, And it told you that, he lost the opportunity to repent after he sold his birthright, So now they're saying, send your checks for up to $4,700 begin arriving in bank accounts. Yeah, so like that's happening, But I'm not gonna get too deep into this. I just wanted to get into this other video.
Liberty, liberty, liberty. My name is David Rothschild.
Basically his family worth. Let me see their net worth. Mayor D. Rothschild is a British adventurer, ecologist, environmentalist, and head of the Scope the Future Foundation, a charity that supports innovations in creativity and social environmental impact efforts. So, Rothschild is one of the elite bankers that own like the Federal Reserve and the other banks across the world. So every problem you will probably ever see, somehow they're tied into it. He's a devil, because his net, like, let's see how much he's worth, the Rothschild. $10 billion. We got his father, the devil, financer. It's a finance, so like, they finance wars,
An environmentalist and explorer.
So what he's gonna talk about is the bottle. He's gonna try to resist recycling, right?
I think my entry point to the environment was actually through the lens of health. I trained as a naturopath, and you start to quickly realize we are what we breathe and we are what we eat. And then you start to look at the planet that we're living on, and you start to realize that the things we're eating and the air we're breathing is becoming more and more polluted and more processed, and that's having an adverse effect on our health. And so without a healthy environment, we basically don't have life as we know it on this planet. And so I think that was kind of my...
He saw the devil, man. He knows what the hell he's doing. He knows, like, he knows, look, he knows exactly what he's doing. He's saying it doesn't, it has adverse problems on our health, but yet his family's a devil. He act like he cares. He knows exactly what's going on. He's the problem. Take Esau out the equation. I promise you, half your problems will be gone. You got Esau telling on Esau. I bet these are Edomites on the comment board. That you're complaining of an ungodly father. You know, look at this. Why doesn't he build a boat out of worthless fiat currency his family uses to dupe the sheeps of the Western world? Talking about America. The man who came out of virus of the world talks about saving the planet. Oh, the irony. No one believes it. No one believes him. Look at this. People, you know, everybody's waking up. And these comments you see before you 6 to 7 months ago. His family are a bunch of parasites that leached off the wealth of Europe for a century. Now he's the environmentalist. Yeah, Esau getting mad on the comment board. Look at that. His dad, the devil. Look at this. Another devil. You know, he's talking about saving the world in plastic. Job 20 and 29. His children shall seek to please the poor. His hands shall restore their goods. His bones are full of the sin of his youth. You know, so he's still sinful. It doesn't matter how old he get, he will never change. Which shall lie down with him in the dust. It's basically his sins will continue with him even after his death. He's still gonna be wicked. He's gonna be a wicked spirit. He's gonna be a wicked man. He's gonna come back as a wicked child all over again. You know, it's a cycle of life. Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue, though he spare it and forsake it not, but he keep it within his mouth. His meat is in his bowels is turned, it is the gall of asp within him. He has swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. Yahweh shall cast them out of his belly. You know, basically getting into all the things Esau ever stolen, the gold, silver, lands, clothing, anything, you know. He's gonna have to vomit it back up. You know, basically he's storing it. You know, I think there's a video on YouTube somewhere. There's a vault full of gold in it. You know, size of a library, basically, a large library. And I was like, that's a lot of gold. And you know, Esau has that. Esau's greedy, man. He doesn't, you know, he don't like sharing. He's like a leprechaun. You know, have you watched the movie Leprechaun? It's a funny movie. But it's about this guy that he try to protect his gold. You know, if you ever heard of a leprechaun, you know what I mean. Basically, when they try to anybody steals his gold, like they be cursed or something. Greedy. He has swallowed down the rich, and he shall suck the poison of the asps. The viper's tongue shall slay him. He shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of honey and butter. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. You know, he's going to try to restore it. First shall he restore it, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. Because he hath oppressed and has forsaken the poor. You know, Jake, Israel. Because he hath violently taken away an house, which he builded not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not of that which he desired, there shall none of his meat be left, therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits, every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. So it's telling you right here that the hand of the wicked shall come upon him, you know. But I don't want to get too deep into this, because I don't want to go off track.
Entry point, and I think we're now getting to a point where that conversation around health and the environment and the health of nature is becoming more intrinsically linked, and hopefully could be the tipping point in terms of motivating us to act upon the messages that nature's giving us. I built the Plastiki vessel with a great team of people. It was a vessel that was built from 12,500 plastic bottles taken from the trash. It was a 60-foot catamaran, and we sailed from San Francisco all the way across the Pacific to Sydney to try and highlight anything is possible, and that we can tackle this plastic pollution issue. And so the Plastiki was born out of this idea to show waste as a misunderstanding of the material. We have this toxic love affair with plastic. We have a love affair with disposability and convenience. And those...
Esau, you have a love with this stuff. You're a devil. Nobody takes you seriously with your family background. That's it. Okay, people just arguing. Face and expressions tell me many things of these evils. Honestly, I don't think I would even tell if he was a devil. I wasn't part of the truth. I would think he's being sincere. Nah. But the scriptures, the Lord would wake me up to knowing the scriptures, Look at these fools. I got Ham believing in him.
worlds are all now coming together in a way that we have never imagined, which is this plastic fingerprint that now covers almost every single part of our planet. It doesn't matter where you are. You could be in the furthest reaches of the Himalayas, or you can be at the deepest depths of our ocean, and there is always going to be, unfortunately, a very distinct human signature, which is plastic, because the material obviously lasts forever, and it creates a sort of permanent nod back to our consumerism and our disposability. So the Plastiki was built on an idea of, could we take this material that we misunderstand and design with it in a way that would not only elevate and create a narrative that would inspire people to think about these out of sight, out of mind environments, but would also think about our relationship to how we design with this material that doesn't disappear. How do we dispose of this material that doesn't disappear? How do we reuse this material that could be reused many times over? I think there's a really interesting role for technology to play in the future of how we as environmentalists and as citizens on Spaceship Earth can operate and fly this great spaceship. I mean, it was Buckminster Fuller in the early 60s coined the phrase Spaceship Earth, and he said it had to be everybody or nobody. And I think there's a meeting point where technology can come in and help us to see the world like never before, can help us understand the world like never before, and can help us document the world like never before. But I do get excited by the fact that we now have more information on the state of our planet than ever before. We can understand the rate of drip from the rate of melt from a dripping glacier. We can understand the acidity of the deepest parts of our ocean. What we know is that we have dirty air. What we know is that we're losing forests at a rate like never before. We're losing species like never before.
Because you're a demon. We're losing stuff because you're a devil. It's all acting like he doesn't know what's going on. No one takes him serious. You seen the comment board. No one's taking him serious, bro. He thinks this is a game. So I don't care. His children shall seek to please the poor. The scriptures tell you. Ecclesiasticus 12:10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Never trust him. You hear about him talking about, he knows all the problems in the world. What year was this? What year? Let me see. Okay, that's 7 months ago. That's not. Are you sure? I swear I seen this longer than 7 months ago. But that's not the point. It's like Esau knows the problem is. He says so many key things. The ocean is made up with a lot of plastic in it. it's hard to dispose of it because it's always gonna be there. Uh, he also talks about extinction of animals and trees getting cut down. Look at him. He's a devil. He's already about to lie. I just want to see Esau. He's about to lie. You know what we think he was in past life? Look at it. Doesn't it, we usually say that he looks like Cesare Borgia. Cesare, in reincarnation. He kind of does, though. Like, he does look like Cesare. He's the look at him. Groomed as the Antichrist. You can see right at the bottom. He's the devil. Anti-Mashiach, It's a devil. Devil. You just know, look. You can never trust Esau when he's smiling. Look at him.
We're losing topsoil like never before. This interconnected system that is allowing us to live and breathe and survive on Spaceship Earth is not going to stay around for us if we don't, continue to actually kind of work together. So
He's a devil. Actually work together. You don't even like anybody. Esau don't like no one. He doesn't like his own people. If there was no other nations on the planet, I guarantee you Esau would have been fighting Esau. Guarantee you. You're gonna have Esau fighting Esau. I like the gold you have right there, bud. I like your land. Esau's gonna be going to war with himself. Esau's the devil. We gotta help you. We gotta work together. Looked like he was kind of hesitant when he said that.
the question now is, because we've got all this information, how do we take that information and turn it into an actionable plan that's kind of like the instruction manual for flying on Spaceship Earth? Because I think if we are just purely looking down at our screens and we're purely just swiping up and down the whole time and we're not looking up and around and having some more emotional intelligence, figuring out how to connect to each other as a species, figuring out what keeps us together on this planet, then we're going to
What keeps us together is if you died,
run the risk of sort of sleepwalking into what will be and eventually the demise of humanity.
He's a devil. So is a devil. Explorer environmentalist David D. Rothschild sailed from San Francisco, California to Sydney, Australia, and on Plastiki, a boat made entirely from recyclable plastic. He wants to change the way we think about plastic and turn the tides in the fight against climate change. That sorcery, whatever, that lie, you saw the deception he's been spilling and telling people, it's starting to show. No one's believing him. Look at this. I think this is a Ishmaelite by the name Ahmad, or probably him, or, that's not the point, but everybody waking up, Esau's Star-Lord, this is Edomite. Esau, everybody waking up to Esau, they shall complain of an ungodly father. I'm gonna get that scripture. Ecclesiastes 41:7. The children will complain of an ungodly father because they shall be reproached for his sake. Reproach. So they're gonna be upset. The Lord's gonna come back and smash this place up, and they're gonna suffer for it. They shall complain. They're complaining now, cause they're suffering. You got Edomites out here living with Jake around in the neighborhood, and Esau thinks he's better than Jake, and they really aren't. They think they're better than us. I'm like, you're not better than no one. So they shall reproach for his sake. So they're gonna be in dire straits. The scriptures tell you that. You see them crackheads down the street, the opioid epidemic. Everything is suicidal rate. This is happening because Because you're wicked. Your forefathers, which you are your forefathers, a bunch of devils. We didn't do that. Yes, you did. You just don't remember it because the Lord didn't put it in your memory. None of our, well, some of us remember our past lives, you know. So I don't know, some people out there, but that's not the point, you know. Esau, Esau's going down. You know, I'm gonna get a scripture and it. Oh wait, this is the scripture. Psalm 55:21. The word of his mouth was smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His word was softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So you can never trust him. Look at that. Look at that. A devil. Look at that. Well, it tells you that his word in his mouth was smoother than butter, and we could play.
My name is David Rothschild.
And he was honest about what his name was. And I looked up a long time ago on a Wikipedia that that's not even their real last name, Rothschild. That's something they changed. They were from the Jewish family line, the Khazars, up in Israel.
An environmentalist and explorer. I think my entry point to the environment was actually through the lens of health. I trained as a naturopath. And you start to quickly realize we are what we breathe and we are what we eat. And then you start to look at the planet that we're living on and you start to realize that the things we're eating and the air we're breathing is becoming more and more polluted and more processed. And that's having an adverse effect on our health. And so without a healthy environment, we basically don't have life as we know it on this planet. And so I think that was kind of my...
See, Esau knows what he's doing. Esau knows, he ain't stupid. He was trying to kill everybody and himself. Esau don't care. Esau does not care. He knows he's not going to inherit the earth, so he's saying, you know what? I'm taking y'all with me. So the devil. He's a devil. You know, and the scripture, his words of his mouth was smoother than butter. But war was in his heart. This is what he's talking. You know, he's talking nice talk. He's talking like he wants to help. I haven't seen a change since he said this. Like he hasn't been showing up in his videos no more. Look at this. All these videos. Let me see. So he's been doing this for, I think, for years now. 12 years, 3 years, 8, 6. Look at that fake smile. 9, 8, 7. So basically, where was his change at? Like, when are you gonna change? He's playing. He's playing. How can you take this guy serious and you haven't been showing up? He's been talking about like he's consistent about it, but yeah, he's never. It's been 9, 7 months since he made another video. Oh, the devil, man! You ain't fixing anything. You're just saying that for a front, so you can go back to being a devil in secret. Give the public something to look at. Say, hey, look, he's doing something great. They're not evil. Yes, you all are. Got a $10 billion net worth. Go help somebody out, devil.
I think we're now getting to a point where that conversation around health and the environment and the health of nature is becoming more intrinsically linked. And
But yeah, I just wanted to show you that his words of his mouth was smoother than butter. So Esau knows the problem with the world. He put it in place. So because he's mad because he can't get the birthright. You know, his words were soft and oil, yet they were drawn swords. This is why Esau will never be satisfied or pleased, because he doesn't have his birthright, and he knows that, and he never will get it. So the best he can do is ruin everybody else's lives. If I'm not happy, you can't be happy. It's just basically Esau. That's his mindset, you know. Esau always talks about the black community, but yet you made it the way it is, you devil. You know, so yeah, I just want to end it with that. So I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, double honors to your elder great millstone, and salutations to all y'all came on the highways and byways. Till next time, say Shalom.